Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing my December TBR video. As with the past couple of TBRs, I feel like this one's going to be a little bit all over the place because these are books that I'm like, I think I maybe want to read these books, but I'm not 100% sure. Although that's what I said last month, and then I ended up reading just about all of them. So these could be the ones. I don't know. I feel like December is such a hard month for reading because it's so like holiday focused. I tend to not know what I'm in the mood for, really. I did post a TBR for the Very Merry Readathon, and I am participating in that. So those will be like the first couple of books that I read in December, but then these are the other ones that I am considering for the rest of the month. So first up is a book that I actually just decided upon like on a whim. I filmed my November book haul right like before I filmed this video, and while I was explaining the synopsis of This Mortal Coil, I was like, I really want to read that right now. So This Mortal Coil is by Emily Suvada, and I really feel like a pull to read this one. It's about a girl who is a gene hacker, so it's like a biological thriller, and it sounds so cool to me. There is a company that seems to be very corrupt, and she's gonna have to figure out whether she can trust them. So her father is actually a leading geneticist. He's on the brink of discovering a cure for this disease that has plagued humans. So he gets kidnapped during the process, and then Katerina has to decide whether she trusts this big company or if there are things that they're not telling her. I don't know. It just sounds so good to me, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Next up, I have People Like Us by Dana Mealy, and this is a young adult thriller that is coming out in February of 2018, and really the cover is what most drew me to this. I love the prep school uniforms. There's this girl named Kay who has kind of like reinvented herself and her life is going perfectly, and then someone from her school dies and leaves her clues to let her know like what actually happened. So then Kay's life kind of begins to unravel while she follows all these clues to try to figure out what actually happened to this dead girl. Next up, I have Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness, and this is the second book in the All Souls trilogy. I read the first book like 2 years ago, I want to say, but I really enjoyed it, and I've been really into like long adult fantasy books, so I just had an impulse to pick up the second one, and a lot of people say that this is like their all-time favorite trilogy, so I'm really looking forward to continuing the story and finding out what's going to happen. And it's a rare occasion where I feel like I still have retained pretty much everything that happened within the first book, so that's really good. During the wintertime, I always just want to lose myself in long fantasy, and this just seemed perfect. The main character is a witch, and then there's also a love interest who's a vampire, so it's like a paranormal series, and like I said, I really enjoyed the first one. Next, I want to read Unearthed by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is another sci-fi novel, and I'm currently reading a sci-fi novel too, so I feel like I'm just on a sci-fi kick. This book comes out in January. At the beginning of the novel, Earth intercepts a message from a supposedly long extinct alien race called the Undying, and they're hoping that this technology will be able to help humans and help Earth. And it follows two girls who are trying to decode these ancient messages, and while they're doing so, there are people called scavengers that are kind of on their tails, and they need to stay steps ahead of them in order to be the ones to crack this code and figure out the technology first. Next, I want to read Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is one of the 10 books that I said I wanted to read in 2017, and if I read this one, then I will have completed 9 of the 10 books that I said that I was going to, so that is my main motivation in wanting to read this. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to end up picking it up or not, which is kind of a shame. So as I was saying before, my memory card got full, so sorry if the lighting is like slightly different, so we'll see how I feel, but it follows a troupe of people in a post-apocalyptic world, and they're like a Shakespeare troupe, and I believe there's a bunch of different stories that all kind of intertwine at the end, and you see all the events, like, I don't know if you see the events leading up to what happened or if you just see their life now, but we'll see. And then lastly, my classic read for the month is going to be A Little Princess by Frances Hodgkin Burnett. I always struggle with saying her name. This is my best friend Alexa's favorite book, so I have to read this. I've been reading a classic a month, as you guys know, and this is the one that I chose for December, and I'm pretty excited about it. So those are all of the books that I have on my December TBR. Sorry for the kind of quick ending there, but I have to leave and pick up my brother from the train in like 10 minutes, and I'm totally gonna be late. Oops. So yeah, that's all that I have for this video. Let me know what you guys are planning on reading in December. Let me know if you're going to read any of the books that I mentioned, or if there's any of them that you think that I should read like as soon as possible. And I will see you guys soon in a new video. Bye!